Hey everybody, it's Jochen. Sorry if I don't sound very good. I bought a brand new headset because my old one broke, and after listening to this thing a couple times, I realized it's a big piece of junk. This is a Logitech G432 gaming headset. I do not recommend it. It's not very comfortable. This microphone sounds like crap, and the speakers aren't that good either. I'm not impressed whatsoever. So this one's getting returned tomorrow, and I'm getting Old Faithful coming back that costs half as much as this. Anyway, so I just want to give you an update of where I am with the setup for my campaign. Uh, I haven't been trying to ignore you, but with a broken headset, it's hard to talk. So what I've done is I've broken down this campaign setup into multiple different pieces, and I'm doing it in sections. All right. So the first part that I'm doing is bases and mainland units. So what are mainland units? Like the Kwangtung army guys here in Manchuria, the Japanese forces already in China, and stuff like on the home islands here that's not really intending to move. I've set up where those guys are going and what I want them to do. Then I've gone through all these bases that are on mainland areas, and again, for all intent and purposes, home islands are I consider mainland because it's you know anyway. I've set up all the bases. Okay. The next thing that I've done is I've gone through all of the mainland, again, air quotes, mainland ports that have ships in port, and I've given them assignments, right? So the Japanese set up with a lot of ships in port, and you got to give them orders, right? I'll give you an example of that. I've already moved a lot of these guys, but these ships have orders, so, or they're in port. So I give them orders, and I move them around, or I decide to do some conversions, as you can see here, and I just give them assignments. And I'm not trying to get crazy here from the start with fine tuning and min maxing the CS convoys and everything. I've got a couple weeks to get that all sorted out. So I'm just giving really basic orders to move big hunks of ships to places where I think they should go. So I've got that all done. Okay. The next thing that I've been working on after that is air setup. And by air setup, I'm talking about reallocating my air support, uh, deciding what bases I want to consolidate, and giving orders to all the squadrons on the map, either for their first turn attacks or for training. And with that, I'm setting up my pilot training program as well. So that's the phase I'm currently on, and I'm about 50% done with that. Okay. The next phase that I'm going to be doing after I complete air setup is start deciding where I'm going to send all my task forces. So for those of you who've never played Japan with a non-historical first start, you get a lot of task forces that, if you look at them, they have these little asterisks by them, right? Every task force that the Japanese have to have an asterisk by them means that they can be moved basically anywhere you want within a certain radius um, on turn one. So, for example, if I want Kido Butai to go to, so right now it defaults, right, to where it thinks you want them to go. So right now the Kido Butai would be moving just off the coast of Pearl Harbor right now. Obviously, that's fine if you want to do a Pearl Harbor attack. But let's say I want to do something else. What if I wanted to move the Kido Butai over here to the Philippines to attack Manila, right? I give it that order, and it's going to go there, and it's going to magically warp over to where I want it to go on turn one and start the battle that way. And the Japanese have tons of these task forces that you have to assign, right? Do you see right there? See these task forces that had little asterisks? So what I need to do now is set these up. Because right now they're going to go to where the game thinks they should go if this was a historical start, but I'm not doing that. So gets very complicated, and I'm probably going to do a tutorial on how to do this once I figure it out, because you can add stuff to it. You can make it go all different places. You can change the orders. There's a lot of options with these task forces, and I still have to figure that all out. And when I do, I'll let you know. But that's going to be a very difficult task because I have to look at what I've got, what's in a task force that can be moved, something separate, see if I can merge other ships into it to make it bigger, to bring troops and stuff along with it, for example, and have them attack the places I want them to attack on turn one. And that will probably be a several day project because I have to figure out first, where do I want to attack? Secondly, what ships do I want to send with it? What troops do I want them to be on board? And then I need to test it all. That could take some time. All right, after that's done, the next thing I'm going to do is start looking at my shipbuilding program. And I have a video in my War in the Pacific Tracker series on shipbuilding for the Japanese and planning it out. Tracker is a great option and some great functionality for figuring out how to set up your shipbuilding plans. So that's what I'll be doing after I get my magic, I'm going to say this, the magic task force is set up and moving, right? After I get shipbuilding planned out, the next thing I'm going to do is start working on industrial management. And that's going to be basically me going into here and figuring out if I want to expand any industry. Do I want to turn off repairs? Do I want to expand like the shipyards? That kind of thing, okay? Next, after that, we start looking at Japanese aircraft research and development and air and engine production. And that's going to take a couple days for me to figure out too, because I have to kind of plan out what aircraft I want to research and when I want them to be ready by, how many I want to start building right now. And this is a very complicated thing to figure out if you've never done it before, like me. And on top of that, you have to be very careful when you make your selections. For example, if I went in here and I accidentally hit this and hit expand now, that's stuck. You can't go back from that. For forever, it's gonna, you just added an additional 10 productions to this factory, for example, right? And that's gonna cost you 10,000 supply to expand it, and you also spent heavy industry and supply to do that from the start. So when you're making these movements, it's best to do them in very small pieces and save often, or you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. I did a video on Japanese industrial management basics in my tutorial series. You can look at that as well. But I have to go through and figure out all this stuff, the research and the production of the aircraft. And after that, I should be ready to go. So I've got a little more work to do here. And I'm kind of fumbling through some of this stuff because the last time I played this Japan stuff, I was playing against the AI and I was using Cole's spreadsheet, and I was really, really, following it to a T because I didn't know any better. So I'm off script now doing my own thing, and I understand how the game works, but I just have to actually put it all together. So that's where I'm at with my turn setup. I've got a little bit more time to go, but I promise you it'll be worth the wait. So I'll keep posting updates as I go along. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me here in the comment section. If it's OPSEC related, or if it's you're asking me where I'm going to be attacking and or this and that, I'm not going to tell you because that's part of the surprise of the December 7th turn, right? But if you have any generic questions about setup or anything like that, I'll be happy to answer those for you. And plus, as always, I'd love to plug and give you guys information from my Discord. We've just got 2 new channels set up for me and Hellsen, and if you want to join one or the other, just let me know. Come over to the Discord, send me a private message, or just post in general chat. Hey, add me to Hellsen's channel, or hey, add me to Hayden's channel, and I'll be happy to do that for you. So there's no double agents allowed here. You got to pick a side right now. So either all with me or you're against me, but either way, you're welcome to my Discord. So please come on over. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. I promise this is the last time you're going to have to hear this piece of crap headset. I'm totally not impressed, and I'm going to make sure Logitech knows that. But for now, I guess that's all I've got. I'll catch you guys on the next one.